Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. We're here. It's middle of the week. It's hump day. Boy, what a market we had today. A little bit of green, a little bit of red. We were still in the red when I turned the light on about 10 minutes ago. So we'll double check. We might actually move back into the green. But before we get to any of that, first order of business, the daily spin. So as you guys may or may not know, Wealthsimple currently has a contest on. So every day you can spin a gold coin to win entries. And those entries, well, depending on how many you have, they'll certainly increase your chances of winning a gold coin. They're going to be giving away, I believe it's 15. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 15 gold coins. So I have been doing my spin on the air. You can get a maximum of 100,000 entries. And so far, streamer luck has not helped me, not even remotely. So without any further ado, oh boy, let's do it. Okay, here we go. Come on, big number, big, 130. Well, it's bigger than yesterday. So 130. Guys, what did you get today? What was your number? Anybody here who does not know, or you're like, Wealthsimple, what's that? That is Canada's commission-free broker. There's a couple commission-free brokers nowadays. They were the first. Very friendly for new investors. And guys, I will actually drop my referral code here in the chat for you. Let's do that. All right, Wealthsimple. There we go. So when you sign up for Wealthsimple, it gives you the market, of course. And I have a feeling you're interested in stocks and ETFs if you're here. So definitely sign up. They will give you $25 when you fund your account. They'll also return $25 to the channel. And that's a win-win for both of us. So if you're not yet on Wealthsimple, now's your time. All right, I'm looking in the chat right now. When I see Lance got like 190 entry. Okay, that's so far. That's cumulative. Who got the most today? I want to know what you got today. So definitely drop that in. Oh boy. All right, guys. Now the market. And just give me a second here. Let me pull this up. Bang, boom. Here we go. So the Canadian market today, what a day. We're still in the red. We're down 0.12. But out of the gate, we exploded. Brand new all-time high. We wicked all the way up to 33,703. And all in the first hour. We went way up and then we came back down. And we've been trying to fight our way back ever since. Most of the day hasn't been that bad. It was just this first hour. Holy banana bread. So I don't know fully what caused this. My guess might be as good as yours, but what can I say? We have seen a couple of key drivers though on the market today on the TSX. One is, and I hate to see this, more heavy technology selling. So definitely not a good day for stocks like Constellation Software. We also, I'm going to say the financial sector kind of got hit harder today than normal. So we're going to be looking at both of that when we get over to the heat maps. There's also, of course, we have the U.S. January jobs report drop today. And I remember, if you guys remember, I said we want things to say close to expected. And, well, the jobs came in heavier. So they actually came in higher. Like they came in with 130,000 jobs. So, yeah, that's a situation where, there is impact, of course, to investors because, we're thinking about, is that strength going to prevent the next rate cut? And that's kind of, I think, where a lot of minds are going. So we had a little bit of that. But I will say the U.S. market seems to be taking it pretty well. So when we look at the S&P 500, it's only down 0.01. And in fact, when I turned the light on for the TSX, it was in the green. So it's kind of flat. It's moving up and down. Now, I will point out, you can see we're still in a green month because we're well above that blue line. Same thing with let's go back to the TSX for a minute. Same thing here. We got a lot more space, a lot more of a buffer on the Canadian side. But yeah, so looking pretty good. Now, as I mentioned, Canadian tech definitely struggling today. Not as much as well, US tech not struggling as much. So look at this. It's actually in the green, 0.39, still well in the red for the month. But when we look at the heat maps, you're going to see there's actually a little bit of strength in tech. Pretty much everything I'm holding is the ones that are not showing strength. But nonetheless, we are seeing a little bit of strength in tech. Dow Jones Industrial down today 0.14. And the little guys, the Russell down 0.85. Looking at commodities, commodities actually pretty darn good. Look at this. Gold up 1.14. Silver up 4.12. Copper up a little over 1, platinum up 2%, and WTI, West Texas Intermediate, looking good, up 1.50. Crypto, not so much. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum are down today. So let's head into the heat map. And I told you you'd see two stories here, and here they are. We got financials here. Like, look at this. Royal Bank down 1.3. TD down 0.75. BMO 1.26. CIBC down 0.84. Scotiabank down 0.54. So, yeah, not a lot of greatness. The only bank that's up is National Bank, and they're up a 0.01. So it's hard to even call that up. That's kind of like somebody standing on the ground and they hopped and flapped their arms and said, "Look, I'm flying." Well, maybe for a microsecond, but yeah, what can I say? And technology over here, if we take a look here, you can see CGI down 5.92, Constellation Software down 4.24. Yikes. All right. I did mention that tech was looking a little better in the US, and here we go. So look, Apple up 0.87, Nvidia up 1.38, Broadcom is up, Tesla a little bit, 0.28, but we got Google down 2.54, Microsoft down 2.32, Meta just down a little bit, 0.14. So definitely kind of a bit of a mix match, Amazon not having a good day, down 1.44, while Walmart's having a pretty good day. They're up 1.84. Looking at crypto, oh boy, we got ourselves a red day. It's not doing great. Once again, guys, I don't know what it is with the scroll on this site. I'm going to try refreshing it. I don't know if that'll help. Nah, it didn't. Sometimes they'll even give me the little guides here, but you know what? It's not going to stop us. I do like to look at an altcoin that's a different color from what the main crypto market is doing. Today, let's go right here. There we go. So this is a green coin. It's called TRIA. What is TRIA? I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot. There's a lot of these coins out there. There's more than 15,000 of these altcoins, and I do call them crap coins, not because they're crappy, which they mostly are, but it's like going to the crap. It's like going to a crap table at the casino. You throw your dice, you're probably gonna lose. It's not in your favor, and it's much the same as these. In fact, you guys know I'm not a big fan of penny stocks, but I'll take a penny stock any day over a crap coin, for sure. So if you are interested in something like TRIA, and it is worth like what, 16 cents a coin, make sure you know what it does. Make sure you've read that white paper. Make sure you follow the developers on their social medias, find out what the coin's about, because I will tell you, they are not. They're an easy way to lose money, a very easy way to lose money. So, yeah, guys, don't get caught up in these coins unless you really know what you're doing. There are ways to make money on crypto. These coins, they're not the way. They're not the way. Stick to your big coins. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and Doge. darn it. Gosh darn it. Yes, even the Dogecoin. All right. And I want to get back here very quickly. And I'm going to pay attention here. Look at this. The S&P 500, guys, it's back in the green. It's up 0.11. So can the TSX get there by the market close? That'll be a story. I'm happy to turn the sign to green. I'm very, very happy. So, we'll definitely take a gander. All right. Let's return Big Me. We got Big Me, and let's hit the chat. And immediately out of the door, Relaxing Rain. Relaxing Rains yesterday gifted 5 gifted membership, and well, they're back. They're back with another one. So congratulations to, and I don't know who won. Even my test screen, it's too far down. But congratulations to the winner, and thank you very much, Relaxing Rains. And even though we've already got tomorrow's show already in the bag, the Goat Squad is still here. The Goat Squad is still here. Our first goat coming out, our evil Monopoly goat. And I'm sticking with the evil because of the black in there. It's got to be evil. So evil Monopoly goat makes an appearance. Love it. All right. Now, let's check things out here. In first today was Stan, who has a happy Wednesday all. We got Claude. And Guten. Is that German? I'm thinking Guten is, or it could just be an autocorrect. But anyway, Guten. Guten afternoon all, for sure. I'll say it. Samantha's in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. We got Nice in here from Sweden. Hey, Nice, always good to see you. Lance says good afternoon, and Scott says good afternoon. Bismarck, you got 170 entries today. That's awesome. That's awesome. I want a big number. I want a big number. We're gonna spin again tomorrow, guys, and we'll see what we get. Amrit says currently at 380, and Claude got 200. So 200 2 days in a row. Nice. Kelly in with 150. Grizzly in with 250. And there's the Nightbot. At first I saw the Nightbot here, not realizing it was for Wealthsimple. And I was like, wait a minute, Nightbot shouldn't be on today. And actually, I'm going to double check. And make sure that Nightbot, the Nightbot's not on. Okay. And Lance says 890 entries so far. I don't know where I'm at so far. I don't think I'm quite at 890, though. I think you're beating me. Muggsy says, I got 180 coin entries. Sahel says, 180 today. 170 was my last highest streak since February 2nd. Nice. 180s. That's not too shabby. One day closer to F1. I love this. I love your name. Now I'm just wondering, or is that FI? Wait a minute. Oh. Let me guess. FI, financial independence. Am I right? You got to let me know. Marina says, hi all, welcome to another mixed bag market day. Yeah, definitely a mixed bag for sure. Cindy says, good afternoon. Only 110 today. Kelly says, did you win on your Wealthsimple scratch off? That was a gold prize too. I didn't have a scratch off. I was never, I think, and this is what they were telling me. You guys were telling me this yesterday, that it was for people who just recently signed up. I've been signed up for a while, so I didn't get that option. But you know what? Some of you guys signed up with my referral code during that contest. I think I should have got a chance to scratch, but I didn't. I wish I did, though. Banks are horrible today. Yeah, exactly. So banks and financial, both sectors not doing great. And guys, once again, here's the heat map. Look at this. Banks, financial, the two big red, oh, it really helps if I share the screen, doesn't it? The two big red sectors here, banks, financials. Oh boy. Wahipple said hey, hit like on the way in. That's great. Mary will be very pleased with you, Hippo. And I have not yet looked to see where we're at on the like box, but is that what I'm going to call my test box? It's the like box, the like meter. All right, I'm going to do it. Let's just see where we're at. All right, it's refreshing. It's refreshing. 28, 28, 28 out of 78, guys. Guys, please. Um, you know what? Let's start simple. Let's start simple. Let's get ourselves to 40. I know Mary will want you guys to get to 80 eventually as more people roll in, but let's get to 40. Let's get to 40. I'll check after Mary makes an appearance. I'll check and we'll see if we can get to 40 by that time. Lance says, what do you think of momentum ETFs like WXM? It has a larger return than XIC and XIU. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. WXM. Oh, I may have to reload this page. Let's just do that. Oops, not entertainment. This is stocks. All right, here we go. TMX money. There we go. WXM. Doop-a-doo. All right. CI Morning. So yeah, CI is an interesting company. They really don't show up as much, but I was actually, earlier today, I was looking at a CI bank. I was actually looking at one of their bank ETFs, but it didn't quite make my list because I was putting together a list video. But you know, I'd like to see more of CI. Now this here, the CI Morningstar Canada Momentum Index Fund. And yeah, I mean, this is this is pretty good momentum. Yeah, they've been doing pretty good. They've been doing pretty good. Definitely underrated, obviously, because they're not. You know, we think of all of the tried and true companies in Canada. CI sometimes gets overlooked. So yeah, I do like this one. I do like this one. Now, when you look at it, you're not getting a big dividend. So you're getting a 1.141%. And that, well, what can I say? This is entirely a growth play. So a dividend income, dividend growth. It's a growth play, 100%, but it's a good growth play. So it's not a bad one. Like when people ask, and people do ask me this from time to time about good stocks to just sort of set and forget, like in an RESP, for example. This is not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. So yeah, good point. Grizzly, I think a fib on 90-day pause on tariffs. I think a fib. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not entirely sure, Grizzly. Be a little more specific on that because it's not ringing a bell. It's not ringing a bell. Speaking of Mary, guys, Mary's our official captain of the like button. So now you know, and I said once she makes an appearance, we're gonna check and see if you guys got to that the 40, the first little goal. I'm pretty sure you did. And you know what? Before I click on it, I'm gonna guess 44. That's my guess. But here we go. I've now clicked on the box. Let's take a look. See what you did. Oh, guys, 36. You let me down. I can't believe it. All right, well, let's work on the 40, and then we're going to... Actually, you know what? We're close enough to 40. Let's go for 50. Let's just go for 50. I like it. And guys, and here's the reason why, and this is the reason that likes are really important. The algorithm, it looks at that. When you guys hit like, it's a form of interaction. Also, when you type in the chat box, same idea. It tells the algorithm that, hey, people are interacting, people are enjoying this content. And the algorithm then says, okay, maybe I'll push it out to more people. And that's a way to help the channel grow. So one of the best ways to help a channel, obviously subscribing is good, but hitting the like button, really, really important. All right, well, Hippo. Let's see, pullback day on the banks, but after a few good days on them, they're still higher this week. Yeah. And you know what? It's very normal. Nothing goes up straight like most stocks. You know, and just I'll show you. This is kind of the normal pattern for most stocks. You know, you go up, you come down. You go up, you come down. This is a normal thing. It's almost like a step. It's almost like you're taking steps to get as you're climbing up, and it's a normal thing. It's very hard for a bank to go, or bank, or for any stock to go straight up like that all the way. In fact, if it does, sometimes it can end up crashing even bigger. So I'm always worried about that stock that's just flying, 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 because I know it's gonna have to do the step. But a nice steady one like this, it becomes nice, reliable. It becomes a good way. It's a good way to grow. And keep in mind, and this here is even simpler, because obviously even in here with on bigger scales, you could certainly have a situation like on a bigger scale. It might look like this. You know, it could look like this. It could be more jagged. There could be little patterns within larger patterns. It's kind of, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I like patterns personally. All right, let's see. Xenial. And now I finally figured out Xenial. Now, not Xenial, but I was on YouTube earlier today and I saw a video on Xenials. And I was like, Xenial. I have a Xenial in my chat. And so Xenial, it's like those people who are, born basically around the border between Gen X and millennials. And so they call themselves Xenials. And I was like, oh, I was not aware of that. Now today I am. And now maybe that's why Xenial is using Xenial. Maybe, I don't know. It could just be a coincidence. But anyway, is XIT inferior to American tech? It's getting destroyed today. Let's take a look at XIT. Let's pull it on over. All right, here we go. All right, XIT. So this is your iShares S&P TSX capped information technology. Yeah. So when we look at this one, yeah, it's definitely getting hit. Now, I believe this has Canadian in it as well as US, but let me just take a look here and see if we get a bit more in here. Actually, you know what? Let's just go to the iShares site for XIT. Google XIT ETF iShares. There we go. This is it right here. Let's head into here. Let's actually go and take a look at their holdings. Yeah, and here's exactly. Yeah, this is exactly what I was worried about. They don't even have any US in their Xenial. Look at this. This is all Canadian. You got Celestica, Shopify, Constellation Software. This ties back, guys, this ties back to this little hole right here. Like, look at this. CSU down 574. CGI, I mean, they're all down. Actually, if I open this up, we might be able to find a couple of others. There's OpenText down 6.83 right there. Lumine down 4.44. Topicus.com down 2.73. There's Lightspeed down 4.63. So, and there's BlackBerry down 1.26. So yeah, pretty much XIT. Is it inferior to American tech? Today it is. Today it is. American technology is kind of the bigger tech of the world. So, in that sense, I always like to keep that in mind. But yeah, XIT is holding Canadian tech. And I will admit, I thought they had both, but now I am corrected. So yeah, that's why it's going down. I mean, when you look at this, it's not good. It's not good. That sector there is pretty much what you're holding. So, all right. Ian is in the house. Hi, all. Bought some bank today. ENCL has been on a tear. Guess Venezuela was not a big deal. It's really not. And even if you guys remember, when you were all concerned about Venezuela sort of taking over all of our Canadian oil, it really can't. I mean, they're really not in the shape to do that. And plus, even if they could, even if Venezuela could get all of their oil to the U.S., no problem. The U.S. can't get it, beyond the Gulf, really, because they would have to basically. It probably would be cheaper to build a new pipeline to do that. So yeah, like I said, nothing to worry about with that Venezuelan oil. There we go. I almost said oil. There we go. I am going to rotate out of HYLD to GLCL tomorrow. Okay, there we go. So yeah, GLCL, that's the leveraged version of GLCC. So yeah, yeah, why not? Why not? Although I tell you, I still like HYLD. I know technology has suffered. I know technology has really suffered this year, but I think it's going to turn around. Like I really do. And I know, and I've been saying this for a while, so I certainly get a broken record award for that, but I am still pretty bullish on tech on the long term. I think we still got a little bit of struggling left, but I'm still bullish. A Grizzly, so XIT is very heavy in a few stocks. Yeah, and also Canadian, and that's the problem. Canadian tech is where we had a lot of our issue. 60 is doing pretty good. 60's been doing great. 60's been doing fantastic for sure. And here, let's actually take a good gander. XIX, whoops, Y. So 60 is pretty much the only of the ultra yield ones that's doing really, really good so far. So now they're not very old, but here they are. So they launched 25. Here we go. So they opened at 25.29, currently sitting at 27.10. And I mean, they've got the semi-monthly dividend, so you're getting a really nice yield every month. Now this here says 3.839. It's much bigger than that, guys. Much, much bigger. And we've worked it out before, but I'm just saying it is a much bigger dividend. Marina, let's see, Dassault Systems. Oh boy, me trying to speak French. This is always never a good idea. So they're a French 3D design software leader. They crashed over, oh my gosh, 20% amid relentless SAA sell-offs. Yeah, oh boy. Fueled by AI disruption fears dragging down SAP and Salesforce. Yeah, absolutely. And guys, here's the thing: if you're a company, like Constellation Software, OpenText, you need to find a way to integrate AI into your software like immediately, so that you can turn it into something that somebody can't just sort of sit there with a prompt and just create. Because people are making some incredible software. Well, they're not making it. The AI is making it. AI is getting that good, and it is a disruptive technology. And I will tell you right now, guys, I don't know if I would go all in on a software company at this point in time. I really don't think I would. AGCC had a good day. Ooh, guys, we are 1 minute from the bell. So if you don't like loud noises, and just less than a minute, we're going to have a bell. It's pretty loud. So just, turn the volume down if you want, for sure. Okay. All right, we were looking at AGCC. So AGCC, this is your Global X Silver cover call ETF. And like I said, I'm pretty big fan of actually all three. They've got silver, they got gold, they got copper. I like them all. And this one here, I think was it October? Yeah, it was October that this one was released. And I mean, they launched this at $20.09. It's currently sitting at $30.86. But yeah, another good day. Yeah, we had this giant pike here, and then we had a crash in commodities. But I'm loving all three of those. All right. Oh, Koopa says, hi, Candace. Did you? Guys, it is bell time. The market's closed. Oh, and I'm going to get to you in a second, Okupa. Jill was outside yesterday during the bell. So she was out there outside shoveling, and she was like, do you know you can hear the bell from the sidewalk? I'm like, oh, I did not know that. So, yeah, definitely. All right, so did you see the scammers I pointed in the Discord yesterday? I had a great combo with one of them. It was quite entertaining, the explanation about your strategy of shadow investing. Okay. So yeah, guys, be careful on Discord. Like, we have a Discord. I love the Discord, but here's the thing. If somebody who claims to be me ever reaches out to you, it's probably not me. And especially if they're sending you a friend request, I will not send you a friend request. You can send me a friend request. I will absolutely be your friend on Discord, no problems. But I won't send one to you only because, and it's not because I don't like you, it's because I don't want you to accidentally accept one from somebody who's not me, from somebody who's a scammer. And a lot of times, if you look at the name, it might be Mountain, it might have an extra I, and I don't know if your thing is still there. Let's actually, you know what? Let's go to Discord. Let's go to Discord and see if we can see it. Oh gosh, there's nothing here highlighted. But, all right, so we're going to go to, where is my... Actually, I gotta scroll up, I think. Yeah, here it is, scammer alerts. All right, so here we go. These are scammer alerts. Let's pull up this one. So this is not me. Look at this one. Mountain Finance with 2 Fs. That's what they do. They steal my picture, and I'll tell you guys, I've changed that picture multiple times, and quite literally, if I change my picture, they've changed it as well within less than 24 hours. So yeah, just watch out for this, because, you know, if you see them, feel free to report them, feel free to block them. Just be very, very careful with these guys. And you know what? I know that it might be fun to mess with them, but I wouldn't even give them the time of day. Now, I will come in here a lot, and I will scan, like here. These are all the people offline. And I like to come in here and scan to the M's to see if we've got, oh boy, look at this. Oh, look at this. We got some Mountain Finances in here. All right. Timeout. No, we're going to ban you. You are now banned. That person is banned. All right. And since we're here, we got another one. What is this one? Oh, look at this. There's an E after Mountain. Mountain. Oh, boy. All right. Well, you are now, I guess I can't ban you, but I can block you. Ignore instead. Cancel, block. Limit access to your profile. Well, no, I don't want that. I don't want to block them. I want to kick their butt. I want to kick their butt. Let me just see here. Oh, there we go. I had to right click. I clicked on the wrong thing. Ban them. There we go. They're now banned. All right. So now I do this regularly, guys, and there's almost always one there when I jump in. And that's what I do. I ban them. I hate them. I don't like them at all. I don't want one single one of my viewers to get scammed. So be careful, because, you know, I like I said, I don't like it. And quite literally, guys, and this is the thing, if you are over there and you have not sent me a friend request, just do it. Send me a friend request. I'll okay it. That way there, if you get a message from somebody who's, you know, who says they're me and they're not the friend me, you know 100% it's not me. But I will tell you guys now, whether it be Discord, whether it be Facebook, whether it be in the YouTube comments, I'm never going to approach you and say, hey, I got a great opportunity in shadow investing. Or or hey, let's talk about crypto. I'm not going to talk to you guys about crypto like that. Anything I got to say, I'm going to say it on the show. So just be careful. Be careful. And guys, don't even think it's just with me. With everybody you follow on every social media, just keep your nose up. And always remember, if somebody offers you a deal that seems too good to be true, you've probably just been marked for a scam. So be careful. Allied Properties is a crime scene today. Glad I abandoned ship in 2024. Oh boy, now I'm almost afraid to look. But let's take a look. Allied Properties. Holy banana bread. Wow. Look at this. That's a drop. 27.829%. What the? All right, guys. I hope none of you guys are holding AP.UN right now because what the heck? Something had to have happened. Just going into the news here. Canadian investment regulatory trade resumption. There was a trade halt. Uh-oh. So they did release their Q4 report. Uh-oh. I have a feeling this went bad. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. I'll just add it here. All right, AP. I'm just going to go Allied Properties because of the U. Sometimes it's helps if it types. Allied Properties. Here we go. Oh gosh. No. Oh god. Look at this. This is quite the gap. This is quite the. Oh boy. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we don't even have. All right. Well, we have the reported earnings. We don't have an estimate on their earnings. Their revenue was only down 0.39%, but yeah, something happened here with these earnings. Oh God. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you recover from this. We're gonna have to watch Allied earnings. I'm curious. What the heck? That's really big. That's big for an earnings. I mean, an earnings misstep. You fall from like 14 to like 13 something. That's a normal earnings misstep. It's like you rented a drill and you tried to go to China. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay. I'm glad that you abandoned as well, Bill. All right. Michael says, hello, Candace. I recall you're not fond of Marin, but it's doing well and has a decent dividend. Well, let's take a look again. I may not be fond of something, but I'm always willing to take a look. And let's see here. Marin Energy. Here we are. Oh, look at this. That's a nice jump. All right, so they're up. They're up today, 9.80%. I like that. I certainly like that. Now, part of what I guess my problem with Marin, part of it is, well, it's just that they're kind of penny adjacent, and it's not so much that I dislike them. It's more or less that I think there's a lot better options out there. But when you look at something like this, you could say, look at that, Candace. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. Now, there was another thing, too. There was something else about Marin I didn't like, and I'm going to take a look in the back end here. No, actually, this is not so bad. So I look at so many of these. But yeah, look at this. Their debt to equity is 18%. Return on equity is a little low, 8.73, but not bad. It's still, they're still profitable. So yeah, I think more or less with Marin, it's more or less that there's just other companies that I like better. But yeah, I don't know what's going on today that they had such a big jump up. Maybe there's something here in the news. Always the first place I like to go is in the news to see if there's anything in here. Leadership change. Okay, that could be. Sometimes that can be a very popular thing, especially if a company signs on a CEO who's worked at another company that's done well. That can be a pump. So I don't know if that's what happened here, but ooh, and look at this. Look at this. Oh no, that was back in December. Back in December, they had a share buyback. That's always good for the company. When you're buying shares back, you're reducing your number of outstanding shares, and that can create pressure to increase that price. It's not that you're increasing pressure, you're changing the math. All right, Ian says this might be a bad idea, but here it is. Celebrity deep dive. Look at the Blossom portfolios of famous YouTubers. I was looking at Adriano's today. Okay. All right. Why don't we do that? You know what? Let's okay, let's go in. Famous YouTuber. Well, here we go. We're looking at this is actually this is actually Wahipple's portfolio. But let's actually go to let's see. Well, here we go. We got a couple up here. Let's go to Brandon Beavis. You guys want to look at Brandon Beavis's portfolio? It's actually a really simple one. He has moved into it's interesting. Brandon Beavis used to be stock, but he switched. He made the switch over to ETFs. So let's take a look at everything Brandon has. So he's got VOO. So that's like VFV. So that's your Vanguard S&P 500. That's his core holding. So look at this, 47.1%. So yeah, and dividend. And by the way, Brandon Beavis is 100% a dividend growth investor. So you know, he is all about growth. So looking at it here, 47% is VOO. Then we got a ZEQT. So this is your all equity, giving you exposure to a lot of things. So international exposure, emerging markets, both Canada and the US. Pretty cool. And that's next big, look at that, 36.5%. So between these two, that's pretty much almost 80% of his portfolio right there. All right, then MCHI. So this here is an iShares. It's actually a China. So this is China. And Brandon really likes China. And that's fine. So he's got 11.2% in here. Now we step down. This is where we get into some of the more interesting things, I guess. These are kind of like more of his fringe investments. We got Lockheed Martin. So Lockheed Martin, defense, there's going to be a lot of pressure in that direction with NATO and everything else. And that's good for Lockheed Martin. So that's not a bad hold, but he's taking it reasonably, 2.5. He's got a 1.5 position in Bitcoin. All right, fantastic. Kits Eye Care. Okay, interesting. I don't know a lot about Kits Eye Care, but sure, why not? And I have no idea what this is. Super Cooper. I've never heard of Super Cooper before, but it's only a 0.2%. So there we go. There's our famous person portfolio of the day. We'll see if I remember to do this, but why not? Why not? I like it. All right. What happened to Allied Properties? Not 100% sure. We had earnings. They weren't great, but that drop seems so big. That seems too big to be just earnings. Oh, I had mentioned as well that we were going to try to we were going to get to 50 likes, guys. I'm just going to quickly check and see if we got there. And I'll have a sip of coffee while we do that. There we did. Yeah, we did 53. Now the push is on to 7. There's 95 of you here, so that shouldn't be hard to get to 70. All right, let's see here. Google, keeps dropping. I know. And just to give you some context, we were looking at Google as a swing trade, and I'll bring Google up. Now, oh boy, here we go. So Google was in this nice pattern, and this is kind of, yeah, this is kind of that thing I got involved in, is that I was playing this pattern, and we had come down here, and I was thinking, oh, does it got one more up? I really should have known better. I really should have known better, because I was not thinking, I think there was a bigger chance of it breaking through than going up, and I kind of was a little cocky. I was a little cocky on this one, so I got in, and well, look at what it's done. So this is kind of one that's stuck in my thing. So I'm probably going to have to do some step downs on this one to see if I can lower my my break even point. But yeah, so this is Google. Right now it's an albatross. It's an albatross in my swing portfolio, but it happens. It happens. I still have a lot of faith in Google as a company. Yeah, but right now I'm probably going to be doing some step. And what that is, guys, is that's just where, like, for example, if I'm at a day like this and I can see that we're clearly going down in the day, I might sell my position right here and just buy it back here. And then what that does is if up here, if this was my break even, it knocks my break even down. So I get out of it a little bit faster. So I might have to do a few of those with this one. What can I say? They have, this has been a very disappointing one. And I've been playing them for a while. Well, you guys can see, here's a lot of the channels I've been playing with Google. But that is the life of a swing trader. Sometimes you do get caught in some of these. It happens. It happens. All right. And one day says, yes, laugh my butt off. One day closer to financial independence. There we go. Let's see. AP reported a loss of over $7 per share, plus plans to offer more units, a dilution. Oh, there we go. Bill did the research for us, guys. Yeah, that's pretty big. That's a big loss. $7 per share. That's, yeah, that would explain why they're in free fall. And then adding dilution to it, the dilution is also going to push them down. So guys, if you're in AP right now, so if you're holding AP, I would seriously look at seeing if there's another place, even if, I hate to say take a loss. I hate to say it, but I would. At this point, just from what Bill has said, and I double check it, do your own due diligence, of course, but if I think it's going to be going down a lot further because of that dilution, this might be one where I would look at trying to move it to something that's going to make me money. So that's one where I think it's okay to, I would say it's okay to take a loss on something like that, guys. Yikes. Mike got 170 today. Nice. Let's see. Hi all, mixed bag, but few buying opportunities. CPKC, rail, go, go, go. I love it. All right. Kelly says, I bought a little more Air Canada today, trying to balance out so my HHIS isn't quite so heavily represented. Yeah, I mean, guys, you guys know I like Air Canada. Air Canada is one of my favorites for swing trading. And let's just take a look here. I did not look at Air Canada today. Oh, I'm liking where Air Canada is. I'm liking this, guys. I wonder, I'm just going to stretch this out a bit. I wonder if we can start respecting this channel again. That would be wonderful. Yeah, I think tomorrow, if Air Canada goes down around 19, I might have to grab some and see if I can play this channel. Yeah, maybe not a bad move, Kelly. Maybe not a bad move. I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Thank you. Lance, I think CIC is the bank ETF for CI. It is. CIC is the one. I was looking at it too. I like bank and SIXI. Yeah, both bank and SIXI are pretty darn good. So yeah, guys, coming out on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday. On Tuesday, I am dropping a growth income. So a growth income ETF video for the financial sector. So, obviously, you're going to see some of these ETFs, some of these bank ones in there for sure. Okay, Marina says, are you familiar with Shadow Stats by John Williams? It provides alternative U.S. government data on unemployment and inflation. Without a paid subscription, I'm unsure of his predictions for 2026. I've never actually heard of it before. This is the first I've heard of Shadow Stats. Interesting. And I know there's a lot of people that think there's a lot of people that think and say that when you look at things like CPI, the basket of items that they pick is not truly representative of what most people actually hold or what most people actually buy. And, there's some validity to that. Absolutely. The only thing I would say, and this is the only reason I think CPI is pretty useful, is that you're comparing apples to apples. So when you're comparing CPI to a year ago, it's that same basket. So you are sort of comparing apples to apples. But yes, it may not be reflective of every family for sure. Grizzly, you asked why the market was chaotic this morning. I think someone fibbed about a 90-day pause on tariffs. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about that, but interesting. Yeah, that can do it. Like sometimes the craziness that's been going on in the government lately can certainly have an impact. All right, Lisa's in the house with a hi, everyone. Claude, I reallocated a big portion of my US ETFs and international ones. I'm now, let's see, 43% Canadian, 43% international, and 14% USD. Of course, I'll reassess every few months. Absolutely. Scott says Microsoft and Google are turning into long-term holds. Yes, yes, they are. Now, I did do, so Microsoft is another one that I'm stuck in right now. With Microsoft, I actually did do I did do a step down today. I think I shaved, I don't know how much I shaved, 40 cents maybe off of my break-even point, but I was working on Microsoft and actually hoping to get out of that one sooner than later, but we'll see what happens. Um, I will point one thing out. So I'm going to go back here just a sec. I'll get to you, Brian. I was looking at IVN, and if you guys remember, here is kind of IVN right here. So I was kind of looking at trying to get back in here. Now, it was interesting. They actually had a little bit of a breakout up here, but now they're starting to slowly move back down. But I have a feeling it might be a long trip, and I have a feeling they might even break out the way things are going lately. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I think this is a trade. I think this channel might be about to die, which is fine. Then we can hopefully get a new channel soon. But I do like the IVN for sure. Actually, I haven't looked at EXE. How are they doing? Because they broke out of my channel, and now I'm just seeing if I've got a new channel, because that's another one I like to swing. All right, now, Brian says, roller coaster ride on the Canadian juniors today. Yeah, and when I believe you're talking about the junior minors, I think. But yeah, it probably was. I haven't actually looked at. I haven't looked at them too much. Today was a scripting day. I did a lot of scripting today. Grizzly says, I just bought another share of Google today too. There we go. Wahipple, I watched a show on investing the other day, and they were saying Gen X is the fastest wealth building age group right now. Interesting. Maybe. Also right now, Gen X, as some of their parents are dying, some Gen X are actually starting to get inheritance. So inheritance are moving from the boomers to the Gen X. So there is an influx. There's definitely an influx of money coming into Gen X because of that. So that could be, I don't know if that plays into this or not, but that could be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Gen X is about to sort of inherit the farm. Adore says, hi, everybody. Hughie Melio, hi, question. How HHIS is down almost 15% last month? I compared it to QQC, which is almost 4.5%. Big difference. Yeah, but you also got to look at that you're using leverage with HHIS. So that's part of the big difference. Plus, you're also looking at the covered calls. So they're very different funds for sure. But, that's part of it. So with covered calls, yes, there is some downside protection. But when you're looking at the little recovery parts, and especially if you're doing aggressive covered calls, you're going to have a situation where you will have some lost upside. And that's kind of one of those things. So, I mean, HHIS and QQC, they have, like I said, very different functions, very different goals. So that's always something to keep in mind. Bill saying, yeah, Gen X inheriting their parents' estates at the moment. My parents both passed in 2024. I'm sorry to hear that, Bill. But yeah, I mean, my mom's getting up there. I don't know how many more years she's got, but she's, how old is my mom? She's 70-something. She's 70-something. Mary says, let's get to 75 and support Candace. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Mary. Maybe my mom's 75. I don't know. Let me refresh this. Let's see where we're at. Last time we looked, we were at 53. So, Mary, you might have already done the job. No, 64. Guys, you guys are, I gotta earn it. I think I gotta earn it. By the way, we have a new laughing goat. It's the same one we had yesterday, but if one of you guys makes me laugh, you get the laughing goat comes out. I'm just saying. So, if you feel like dropping a joke, you can go for it. Doorpat, I was happy with Shopify, and then it took a nosedive, bought a few things. I see them using AI to their advantage. Shopify, yeah, I think Shopify will be fine, but it's going to be a little bit of a rough ride. And I mean, AI is really, really, the more I research into AI and where it's going, the thing is you have to look at, here's one of the things about AI. You know what, guys, we need the whiteboard for me to sort of illustrate what I'm trying to illustrate. All right, so this was AI, we'll go even back to the beginning of the pandemic. It was just like, and there'd be a little bit of an improvement right here. So there'd be a little bit of an improvement, and then a little bit more of an improvement, and then more of an improvement, more of an improvement, more, more. So this is kind of the progression of AI. It's been this parabolic explosion of technology. So it used to be like, you'd have a new model that would come out maybe once a year. And now we're at a point now that things are just advancing faster and faster and faster. And a lot of times you may not even realize, like, when you think about, okay, well, we're on Chat GPT 5, there won't be a big advancement until 6. Well, you're wrong. Every time we go up from 5.0 to 5.1 to 5.2, and now they've got 5.3 codex that was just released. Things are really moving pretty darn fast. So just something to keep in mind. And it's not going to slow down. So when you're looking at things that are improving to this amount, you got to start wondering, what is the impact? And obviously, we're starting to see the impact on software companies. I'll give you a huge impact. I bet you, here's a company I bet you is going to be struggling, is Adobe. Yes, Adobe is trying to work AI in, but why would you pay a whole bunch of money for something like Photoshop when you can just drop a picture into ChatGPT and it will do it for you? Quite literally. It's getting to the point that, we really, there are going to be casualties in some of the software companies. And that's why I've been kind of hinting at, guys, don't put a lot of investment, I think, into software at this point in time, because I really don't think. Now, a lot of the big tech companies, yeah, they may be struggling for completely different reasons, and some of them do probably offer software, but they already kind of get an idea that this is coming, and they kind of known way before we did. So I think those guys are going to be fine. Like, your Microsofts, your Apple, I think they're all going to be very fine in the end. But a lot of these little startup companies, a lot of these things like OpenText, Constellation Software, Topicus.com, so anything spun off there, they're going to be fighting for a little bit, and I hope they survive. But for right now, until I know if they're going to survive, I'm going to keep my money away from them. I'm just saying. You guys make up your own mind. But Rory says the TSX just went. Oh, did it? Did the TSX go green? Guys, let's take a look. No. Oh, look at this. The TSX finished at negative 0.01, just in the red. And so did the S&P. The S&P slipped down. So I get to keep the red sign. I guess I get to keep the red. I wanted to change it to green, though. Let's see. Well, compared to QQCL is similar, to be fair. Yeah, so the video coming out on Friday, as I mentioned, it's going to be HHIS and QQCL, and we'll bring in the NASDAQ as well, and sort of look how it all has, how it all shapes up. I think you'll like it. It might clarify a few things with it, but keep in mind, from what I've seen of you, I'm pretty sure that you are much more focused on the dividend growth sector. I really do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's really good options there for you, for sure. All right. Oh, Hippo, the show had discounted the inheritance part of the equation. Oh, did they? Okay. Interesting. Crypto winter, or is it just crypto winter, or is it a bit just chilling? Sometimes. No, actually, let's go to Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin at? Here we go. There's gold, there's silver, copper, platinum, Bitcoin. Here we go. There we go. Oh, guys. If you guys remember yesterday, I charted this wedge for you guys, and I told you it was going to break. And it was going to break the length of one of these. And I said it could break to the downside, and I said that would put it at about this, and where this could potentially act as a support. I said that yesterday, and it has. So look at that. It's kind of done that. Now, I think Larry was being a bit more positive yesterday and thought it might actually break up here. But yeah, it did. This is acting as, at least it appears to be acting as a support for now, which is good. I don't like it below this line. That's why we've got that there. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Bitcoin did what I thought it was going to do. I love it when something follows my plan. I forgot all about that guy. It's funny, I forgot all about that. All right, Tom says, sold all my ENCL at a nice profit. Will buy back at a lower cost. All right, fair enough, fair enough. Tom says 50 likes. Yeah, right now we're at 64, and we're going for that. Mary says 75. I say 70. Ooh, there we are. We're at 70. I'm gonna shut up, but Mary, you can definitely push them that 5 more if you want. Wahipple, Inti been looking pretty good the last week or so. Like to be reshaped the strategy in that fund. So yeah, Inti, of course, that's their newest, the Evolve's newest ultra shares. So here, let's actually go take a gander at where Inti is sitting at right now. And I have added them in the challenge, but I mean, they haven't yet, like they really haven't had, like quite literally, we don't even have a month of data yet. So they opened at 25.50, and right now they are still down. They're at 24.49. Now they do have aggressive covered calls, and you are going to be in the green with the covered calls with your, with the dividends that are on this. I want to see, though, I really want to see this. I want to see this one succeed, because I like the exposure that they're providing, but I need to see this succeed, because right now, like I haven't added any new Inti this month, but, maybe, I don't know if I will or not. I don't think I'm going to. Let's see. And if you compare Bank with Zeb, Zeb destroys Bank on performance. Correct me if I'm wrong, with all due respect. I haven't charted Zeb against Bank, but I will say, I have compared Bank with ZWB. So, but you got to keep in mind, though, and this is the thing. So what you're sort of forgetting is that they have different functions. So Bank is designed to give you income, and you're getting a good amount of growth with Bank as well. But you are, that income is kind of part of the key equation. So with something like ZEB, you're there for the growth. So you're looking at, pure growth there. So yeah, normally a non-covered call version of whatever it is, normally it will normally have a higher total return than the covered call version, and that is kind of the thing. Now, with something like Bank, you do get the leverage, so that certainly helps. And if you were to reinvest all of your dividends, then that difference is not so big. I think every time I have tested it, though, I will say, even with the leveraged version, the non-covered call, non-leveraged version still comes out a little bit ahead, but that leverage certainly helps. But and that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole idea is that if you want income, that's what these funds are designed for. So you got to keep that in mind. And for some people, you may not want income until you actually retire, in which case, you know what? Stick with the dividend growth stuff. Stick with those bigger total returns. That makes a lot of sense. So I always like to look at it that way. Now, there are some people as well that psychologically, some people will go with income even when they're young, because just psychologically, it makes a lot of sense. And it really sort of helps keep them motivated for investing. And if that's the case, there's nothing wrong with that either. Rory says, I knew Canoe has been a stubborn donkey in price. Won't come down very much. Yeah, what has Canoe done today? I know yesterday we were looking and they just slipped below that 17. I wasn't liking that. I want Canoe to stay above 17 now. Now that they've done it, I want them there. Yeah, look at that. Down a little bit again. 1687. So we know this is possible, Canoe. Let's get yourselves back up there. Wahipple. I got my AGCC right at the top of that big spike. By the time I got the confirmation email, it was dropping and I just speeded up. Yes, I rang the bell. The bell is rung. Discord is nasty. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, I love Discord. I love what it provides, but there's a dark side. There's a dark side, and you kind of always, that's why I'm always saying, guys, be aware of the dark side and be aware that there's scammers there just lurking behind every shadow, waiting to try to take advantage of you. Let's see, close 2 points in the negative. Let's see, Wahipple. That's nothing. I took a 37% hit on AGCC when I got it, but put I have worked back up to negative 25. Nice. Allied Properties was so bad, makes me scared to hold RMAX. Yeah, but keep in mind, that's the thing. RMAX holds a big basket. And it's not just like, RMAX is holding 50% US as well as 50% Canadian. So you've got a lot of diversity in something like RMAX. So if you got one thing like Allied Properties that absolutely decides to, I'm going to use the words, screw the pooch, then yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I'm still fine with RMAX. Like, this does not shake my RMAX at all. And I mean, like, here, let's take a look at RMAX today, see how they did. I have no clue how they did today. All right, they are down a little bit. Down, what are they at? 1641. So on the day, they're down 1.7, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with RMAX. RMAX, I've accepted RMAX as an income fund for me. So it's not really in my, in my whole growth income portfolio. I have lots of pure growth things as well as pure income, and this would be on that pure income side for sure. All right. Let's see. Lance says, I think AP fell after they announced plans to raise $500 million to help absorb steep drop in value of their properties. I think not having a lot of people commuting to work since COVID hurt too. Yeah, absolutely. Allied have definitely struggled. And basically the plans to raise $500 million, that's all through dilution. So that's never good. So yeah, Allied at this point, they're kind of like, they're like kryptonite. I'm not going near them. I'm not going near them. Wahipple says, REITs, I am not into them. And I'll tell you, I've kind of moved further away from REITs. That's why I kind of like RMAX. It's, it's giving me my real estate exposure, and it's giving me income. And right now, that's enough. I don't really need a lot of REITs. Perlovia. I do enjoy my 1,800 dividend from Marin, so holding on a while longer, had it for years. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. All right. Fears of a Japan carry trade unwind, so ticking time bomb, are mounting. How might the Bank of Japan rate decisions in 2026 accelerate or mitigate the pressure on the TSX resource stocks? Yeah, the Japan thing, obviously, when it comes to the carry trade and it comes to Japan raising interest rates, I think they're going to do it. I just don't think they're going to do it fast. I think it's going to be very gradual. I think there's a lot of pressure. Like they'll tick off the U.S. if they do it, and they'll tick off Donald Trump if they do it fast. And I don't think he's going to let them do it. And I don't think they want to. I really don't think they want to annoy Trump at this point. So yeah, I think it'll be a slower process, and for that reason, I don't think it's going to have as big of an impact. I think the fear of it will have a bigger impact than actually the unwinding itself. And like I said, I think it's going to be a longer process. A new Larry, new Larry is in the house with, hi, new subscriber here. Well, welcome, Larry too. we have regular Larry, and now we have Larry too. I love it. We can have We can have our own small legion of Larrys. That would be kind of cool. Let's see. Marina says Alloy Properties plunged over 25% today after announcing plans to raise $500 million through a new unit offering to pay down debt. I like that they're going to pay down debt. I do like that, but yeah. Tom says Air Canada, yummy. Oh gosh, yes. What do you think about Evolve Ultra Yield ETF Tiny? Paid dividend twice a month outside of America. Good international ETF. What about NAV erosion for this fund? Tiny. You mean Inty? Are we? Because I was gonna say, I was like Tiny. I haven't heard of Tiny, but I think you just got the T in the I. So Inty. What do I think about it? I like the idea of it. Right now, I think I need to see a bit more history. I'm not worried about NAV erosion at this point. Like for one, yeah, is there going to be some NAV erosion? There might be, but here's the thing. I mean, the fund itself, it is designed for income, so I definitely want to see. I want to see it holding steady as it dishes out that income. So right now, I haven't yet made my opinion on Inty, but some of the ultra yield, I am looking at them, and I am like, so far I'm not happy. I'm not happy with Canny. I'm not happy with Biggie. I'm very happy with 60 though. And I'm hoping Inty gets in there as well. Let's see. Ian says, I checked out Brandon's Blossom and clicked all-time return. He's doing pretty good. Hard to really compare him to me because his stuff is low div and my stuff is high div. He's got nice returns. Yeah. He knows what he's doing for sure. Mr. Garner says, bought my first ever shares of BTC ETF today. Nice. At least it's always good to buy it. Your first one when it's down a little bit. So that's always good. Let's see. Politicians. Danger. Okay. Andre. What do you think about Evolve ETF Ultra Yield? Oh, right. That's the one that we just, I just did. And you spelled it right here this time. It's so easy. It's always funny. Normally when I don't look at something I've typed and then I hit enter, then I notice it immediately and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that. It happens all the time. Ben says, I want a tobacco ETF. Smoking is bad for your health, but I came back from Asia and every man smokes. Look at Atria, Philip Morris, and British American Tobacco. The charts and dividends are good. Maybe. I don't know of a tobacco ETF. I've never really looked for one, but yeah, I mean, Asia's, there's still there's a lot of smokers in that part of the world for sure. No doubts about it. AI equals the beast. I don't. Well, I guess if you, I guess maybe. I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of things called the beast, but I don't know. There's Mr. Beast. There's that beast. But he's kind of an elevated beast because he's a Mister, right? Bitcoin to 10,500 by October. Wow. Now that's quite the prediction. I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe to that. I don't think it will happen. But, if you're right, oh boy, what a ride that would be. Not a good one, though, I think, for a lot of people. TSX is red. I'm green. Thanks, ENCL. Let's see. It's not easy being green. That kind of reminds me. It's actually funny. One time, so I had to do an interview with a guy once, and when I came into the room where the guy was waiting, I noticed the staff kind of laughing, and they kept pointing at him. I'm like, what? What's going on? So I don't know what was going on. So I got in, and the room I was interviewing in, it was a glass room. And so he could see like the receptionist and everything, and they were kind of being very unprofessional. So I basically got him to sit in a seat where his back was to the window so he couldn't see them laughing. And then I did the interview, and it turns out I found out why they were laughing. It's kind of funny, but I mean, not in the moment, of course. The guy sounded like Kermit the Frog, like literally, like I really, Like I couldn't believe it. And when I did the interview, I kept a straight face because I'm professional. And when I asked him, like, normally one of the questions on the interview was, what is your greatest weakness? Or what things do you struggle with? That type of a question. And his response was, well, he was like, obviously, I sound like Kermit the Frog. I didn't lose it. I'll tell you, I didn't lose it. But I still was professional. I understood that. You know what? Just because somebody sounds like Kermit the Frog, I mean, I gave him a fair shake. I didn't hire him, but it wasn't because he sounded like Kermit the Frog. I was just because he didn't have very much. He didn't have very much technology. He didn't have enough technology experience at all. Like he literally didn't. Otherwise, I would have hired him because I don't care. Like I never cared. But oh boy. All right. Ian says, let's see. There are less convenient colors to be. Samantha says, thank you for being late. An Optimist Guide to Thriving in the Age of Accelerations by Thomas L. Friedman is a good 2016 book to check out. Nice. The Catholic Church launched their own ETFs today. Do they come in like 3 flavors? The Son, the Spirit, and the Son, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Do they come anyway? I don't know. But that's actually interesting. I was not aware that the Catholic Church did that. Thoughts on T-Bank? It overweighs banks with higher dividend growth like National Bank and RBC. It's an interesting thing. There are different ways you can weigh out. So you can do, for example, you can do a yield weighting where you sort of look at it from how much a company is bringing in and weight it more in that favor. So I think it's interesting. And here's the thing I will say right now. So when you look at something like T-Bank, let's pull it up. Whoops, come on. Here we go. TBNK, here we go. So here, this is your TD Canadian Bank Dividend Index. You're going to see it. They're all performing really well. Like right now, I think we're in a situation where it's very hard for any kind of a bank ETF to fail. Just because, it's been pretty darn good. So I don't know. I would love, and maybe we need to look at this. Maybe we need to run different weightings against each other. That could actually be an interesting video. But yeah, that's something I would definitely like to see. I don't really think I have a super opinion on whether that would be better, at least in this market. I think, well, you know what? Here's the thing. If you are providing more weight on companies that have more growth, and in this case here, dividend growth, it could give you an edge, maybe. It's, I would have to actually run the numbers, though, before I could definitively say yes or no to it. Ian says, Kermit said it's not easy being green, but Ira, not that hard. It's really not easy being cheesy. Chester Cheetah told me that. Ian, you didn't make me laugh, unfortunately. Good try, though. Again, thanks for your transparency. No more questions about cover call ETFs on my part. Have a great day. Well, and have a good day yourself as well. All right. Isn't JP Morgan Citadel Susquehanna scammers? Don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. All right. Andy says, watched in awe as my sector, trade, and market showed all it wanted to do was finish as a perfect hammer daily candle, little by little, just edging up, but never going over opening peak. Trader funnies. Oh, darn it. I didn't realize it was a joke. You know what? You made me laugh because I didn't realize it was a joke. Andy? Yeah, that does it. That does it. Yeah, you get the laughing goat. You get the laughing goat for that. It was a dumb laugh, but it was a laugh. It was still a legitimate laugh. You made me laugh. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for that. All right. Holy banana bread. All right. Well, Hippo, I got enough semi-monthly income to buy twice a month and keep the service fee under 2%. Nice. Larry1 says, been holding Scorpio tankers for 8 months. It finally broke through 100%. And the reason I called you Larry1, Larry, is we have another Larry. There's now 2 Larrys. Rob says, what do you think of the stock Logitech? I love Logitech. I love Logitech technology. I will say that right away. I don't actually know how they're doing. Let's take a look. But I certainly use their technology a lot. I mean, my mouse. Look, I don't know if you guys. Well, here, let's first of all, hold on, hold on. I got to go big screen for this. My mouse, Logitech. So it's an old mouse, but it's been very reliable. Although I do need a new mouse, but I you know, I've needed a new mouse for about 2 years. But so far, I like to get the most out of something before I replace it. There we go. But yeah, I know I do like Logitech. And here we go. I'm going to pull up. Let's pull up in the last year. All right, I'm going to pull up the last 3 years. I want to see the whole picture. So yeah, overall, like, look at this. They've been doing fantastic. They're down a little bit now, but I mean, that's kind of the story. As long as we keep getting these higher highs, I think that's going to be good for them. I think that'll be good for them. I think this is a good company. So yeah, Logitech, yeah, I like them. Is that company owned by Hank Scorpio? I do not know. I do not know. Although I feel like Hank Scorpio, why does that name sound familiar? Lance says Trump will make a deal with them so they don't piss off Trump, but it will definitely unwind over 2026, 2027. Yeah, I mean, it'll take a bit of, like, what I'm saying. I'm thinking it'll be more of a gradual unwind, but, you know, I could be completely wrong. Do you think AEM and CCO are too expensive now? Well, CCO, let's look at Cameco. No, I don't, and I'll tell you why. So one of the reasons that I don't think Cameco is too expensive is we're in a situation when you actually look at uranium. So the amount of uranium that is needed, that's being used, is more than what's being produced. So there is, you know, we had a longest point in time, because after the whole Fukushima thing, we had a lot of nuclear power plants that went offline in Japan and other places. And some of the, you know, so there's basically, we got to a point where we had a big stockpile of uranium, and the price of uranium was really low because of that. But now we're at a point that stockpile is being eaten away, and we are heading to a shortage. So yeah, do I think CCO are too expensive? Nope, I don't think they are at all. Candace, is Google cheap to buy now? 12% down from all-time highs. I'm on Google right now, so I'm hoping they definitely come back up. I think, yeah, especially now, if you're long-term investing, yeah, this is a fantastic place to be, for sure. I mean, yeah, here, let me pull it up. Let's go back to Google once again. Good old Google, where are you? There you are. So yeah, I mean, you know, this is the thing. Like I said, I'm currently down here. I'm stuck in a bit of a swing trade on them, but I don't mind being stuck. And why do I not mind being stuck? Because they got good fundamentals or a good company. They're going to come back up. Will we get a V? We might even get a V shape. I'd love to see a V shape. I don't know if it might take them a bit longer. Depends. Like right now, there's so much people concerned about AI. There's so much people concerned about the infrastructure costs, the job costs of AI. There's a lot of things. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, people will get over that at one point. Obviously, society is going to change over the next decade for sure. As a result, it's inevitable. I mean, that's what happens. AI is a transformational technology. Now, how does this tie into Google? Well, Google is at the forefront of something else. Google's at the forefront of quantum chips. So there's this thing called Willow, which is a chip. It's one of the world's first quantum chips, and that is a Google product. So Google with quantum chips. Now, quantum chips will use less power than traditional chips that we have now. So this is going to solve a lot of things. One, it's going to be able to be a way to continue to expand AI at perhaps a less of a power footprint. That could be really huge. That could be massively huge. So Google has, as long as Google keeps working on this Willow, and last I heard, they've found ways to get more qubits on it, because that's been one of the big issues. A qubit is kind of like, you know how with a regular circuit, with a regular chip, you have bits, and a bit is basically one switch, on or off. That's it, that's a bit. With a qubit, of course, that switch can be on, off, or anywhere in between. So it can be in multiple states at the same time. That's one of the reasons why, like, one qubit can do the work of many, as in maybe 1,000 bits or more. That's part of the reason why it'll be able to run at much more efficiency, power efficiency. So Google is on the forefront of that, and that will absolutely, on the long term, that's going to be massive for Google. So I'm if you're a long-term investor, getting Google here, it's a no-brainer. All right, let's see. I've had Altria for too many years. It's been great for me. Let's see. I don't think Bitcoin will go far below 50K USD, and I think it will go back up this summer. Yeah. I would. I'm kind of in the Lance's camp. I'm not thinking the 10,000. Ian says AI does not need robots to destroy us. After they take over news, movies, and music, it can turn us against each other and make us destroy ourselves. Kind of a comment, dark for a Wednesday afternoon. Maybe. Well, here's the thing. I mean, maybe AI doesn't even need robots at all, because they now have a website where they can hire a human. So just hire a human to do your dastardly deeds, I guess. Let's see. We are doing a pretty good job of that ourselves. If silver is a critical metal, then why are the national mints still making coins? You got to realize, though, the amount of silver that's actually in coins nowadays, unless it's specifically a silver coin and you're paying for that. But you look at regular monetary coins like the quarter, the nickel, the dime. There's really no silver in those anymore. It's mostly alloys. It's not silver. Not anymore. Maybe back in the olden days, but not anymore. Andy says, your Kermit occurrence. I had Texan for tech support once that were monitor. It's a flickering in it. Oh boy. Valve says, I get all MSTE when the price goes down and then I buy more. Larry says, sorry, driving, can't look at the screen. Okay, fair enough. We don't want an accident. Steve says, looks like ZEB monthly div is 14 versus 12 for bank, but the share price is 6 times higher. What's better, uranium, my uranium, or our uranium? Oh boy. Oh, Scott. Fine. You get it. You get the goat. You get the goat. And the funny thing is, I didn't realize you were joking till after I read my uranium, and I was like, what the heck is my uranium? Oh. Let's see. Can you do a video, if you haven't already, comparing F-Grow, G-Grow, T-Grow, V-Grow, and X-Grow? I'm leaning to F-Grow right now. Interesting. I feel like I did one once. I'll have to double check. But yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, maybe we can. Have you ever wondered what it would be like having all your subscribers in the room at the same time? It would be tighter than a can of sardines. My studio is not quite big enough for 10,000 people. And I also think the floor would break. So we would all be in the living room pretty fast. Maybe even the basement. It would be a mass casualty event, guys. I'm just saying. Banana bread and coffee party. Now, if we actually had like a giant hall, Wembley Stadium, well, maybe not quite that big. That'd be kind of cool. No, it would be cool. Like I'd love, like if I had this opportunity that I could get all 10,000 and well, 10,060 or 10,070. If I could get all of you in a stadium and we could do this, that'd be cool. That would be really cool. Absolutely, I would be there for it. All right, guys. Holy banana bread! Once again, we're at the end of another show. This has been fantastic. You guys are awesome. I love doing these. We will be back. We got a show again tomorrow. So we're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to do this all over again. Hank Scorpio was a I thought so. I was thinking is that Simpsons or King of the Hill? And then I'm like, yeah, okay. There we go. All right. All right. With that, guys, we will be back tomorrow. But before I go, I do have one thing I want to say. And that is, well, bye-bye.